According to the US Census Bureau, nearly 40% of US citizens, over 117 million people, are currently single. So if you're watching this video, you are one of 2 people who are currently seeking love. This video will help you to find your path to spiritual union. And if you are currently in a relationship, this video can help you to strengthen your love connection. Spiritual union is now possible using the 7 asteroids of love. Within astrology, there are karmic points of destiny to discover, ranging from the areas of life in the zodiacal wheel to actual mathematical calculations, which are precise down to the minute, such as your vertex point, for instance. Now, of course, there's also the broad, generalized concept of sun sign compatibility, which some of you may be familiar with, and has its significance in determining the course of how a relationship will unfold. However, in this video, the path to discovering not just a relationship, but a spiritual union through my knowledge and expertise as an astrologer will be unveiled through 7 of the most popular asteroids within astrology. We'll get into some of their mythology and unveil the sacred wisdom that they have to show us in seeking romantic love and partnership. As many of you are soul searchers, in the sense that you are looking to find the missing pieces of yourself and bring them into totality, but you are also soul searchers, kind of doing this inner work and going on this journey alone. And as we venture through the stories of the love asteroids, you will find that it becomes quite a personal one through your willingness to participate in the uncovering of more aspects of yourself in relation to spiritual energies. And the stars, greater rewards are waiting for you. It is through your bravery to cross over into the unknown that you will reap great rewards as you mine the gems of the beauty that is your heart. It is important to know that although this connection that you seek and will eventually find through this newfound conscious understanding is that even the most fated connections aren't without difficulty and require consistent effort and willingness from both parties, which again is why self-discovery is so powerful. First up, we have Eros, who was a mythological being depicted often as an angelic creature and has associations with Cupid. It is said that Eros would shoot his arrow at random and that neither man nor God could resist the love and temptation that would befall them as they were hit with his arrow. Eros represents a lustful desire and a passionate energy, which can be used for the purpose of hobbies, for instance, that you enjoy, or toward a project that you feel strongly connected to. When working with the asteroid Eros, it is important to note that you may also experience chance encounters. There's also a strong possibility to become blinded by love, in a sense. So that's something also to be watchful of. If your Eros is in Leo, you are a very romantic person. You think with your heart and not your head, neglecting perhaps logic and wanting to be completely encapsulated by the feeling of being wanted and desiring another. You will put a lot of emphasis on crafting fun date ideas. You may want to express your talents, your inner talents, as a gesture of love for the person that you're interested in. It may be that you enjoy being the center of attention and require a lot of effort and intentional advancements in relation to the way you like to be romanced. You appreciate individuality and uniqueness when being courted, and it is very possible that you are serious about having children. when you get into a relationship, it's very difficult for you to take it lightly, and you value commitment. Your partner will definitely have to be able to handle such a strong and capable person and may admire you for who you are. Romance is not hard for you to find, as many people are drawn to you, and you have natural magnetism. You are very creative in the boudoir. It's very possible that you enjoy creativity when it comes to romantic affairs. Next we have Juno, who was the wife of Jupiter and is also associated with the goddess Hera. Juno represents commitment, balance and equality in partnership, unity, good fortune, and could represent something to strive for, as it is closely linked to marriage, right? So after we've had our fun and explored sort of a lighthearted and innocent almost expression of love with Eros, now we are looking to get serious, right? And perhaps even settle down. Now, of course, in working with Juno, it is important to remember that she represents sort of lesser qualities of marriage and commitment, such as infidelity. If Juno is in Gemini, you are someone who may fall in love with your best friend from childhood, okay? You could be someone, you could find your love in high school and become high school sweethearts. You may even meet your marital partner years later, visiting your old neighborhood. You happen across this person you haven't seen in years. You reconnect and end up falling in love. You are a very socially adventurous person, so exploring relationships outside of your romantic connection may be really important to finding that balance in staying committed to your partner and also needing an outlet in which to express yourself in more casual ways. You really need a partner who is able to communicate effectively, who's able to listen to your wants and needs. You need a partner who's able to listen to you vent about your day, who wants to get to know the things that you're interested in. Okay, so shared interest is really important among making your dating rounds, right? And interviewing people, in a sense, for this role of marital partner. It's very serious. You and your partner may also have shared hobbies that you connect over and bond together with. Overall, I see a very exciting relationship that's full of serendipitous memories that you make together, right? Chance opportunities that you two land in and find yourselves upon. There should be an ease and an effortlessness when it comes to the way you and your partner come together and make decisions about finances, about where you will potentially raise your children. I see that you will be very involved in your child's early development. That's also something that's really important for you two to talk about. You may also share a rich social life together. From the youthful, playful, fun and flirtatious Eros to the committed Juno, and now to Ceres. How do you nurture yourself? How do you pamper yourself and care for yourself, even in lieu of all of the responsibilities that you now have on your plate? That is what Ceres is here to teach you. So Ceres was the goddess of agriculture, also associated with Greek goddess Demeter, mother to Pluto and Persephone. Therefore, Ceres is associated with wheat, as well as the torch. When we look to Ceres, we can think about fertility, parental bonds, how we nurture our parental style, as well as the way we care for and look after our own body, mind, and spirit. If your Ceres is in Scorpio, you are someone who is highly attuned to those around you, and you have such an incredible love for the people that come into your life, especially in relationship and partnership. You will be very attached to your children. The people in your home feel really comfortable coming to you to talk about their feelings and know that they're going to be held, that it's a safe space. You have very strong emotional intelligence and will be really good at giving advice that comes from life experience. You have experienced a great depth of understanding in relationship, and your relationships will bring you in and out of your conscious and subconscious understanding of who you are and how far you've come and how much further you have to go in terms of growing as an individual. Growth is something that you experience rapidly, instantly, over the course of several years, right? You experience cycles in your life that begin and end and transform into a whole new level. This is what your relationships will bring out of you as well, in terms of being able to find yourself in relationship. It's really important for you to potentially seek out healing modalities, spiritual wellness, returning back to yourself and continuing to deepen your understanding of who you are through your spiritual practice. You may consider yourself to be a mystical, magical being. So working with herbs and plants, I see, could be something you are really interested in. Making the appointments necessary, right? With the right coaches and professionals that help you to maintain your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Bringing a life into being is going to be the most transformative aspect of your life. Now, Vesta, who was associated with the goddess Hestia, who was worshipped by the fireplaces of Roman people, chaste woman, would look after a fire that would burn constantly in her honor in the temple that was erected in her honor. This asteroid represents how you will become a good homemaker and build lasting memories, as well as how you may uphold traditional values in relation to gender norms. If your Vesta is in Taurus, you will feel really strongly connected to the idea of, creating a home that feels comforting to walk into, that feels inviting, where there's always enough to go around, right? There's plenty. Meals that you share with your family are very important. And you and your family may enjoy cooking together, enjoying nights out, someone to belong to, people you can come home to, is something that you need to feel purposeful, to feel needed, and like you have a place where you belong, is something that you will spend your life creating. In terms of your partner, they will be someone who values commitment and the time that you two share. They will want to lavish you with expensive gifts, okay? With Eros and Leo, I felt strongly quality time is really important. With Vesta and Taurus, quality time is definitely significant, but gift giving for Vesta and Taurus could be your top. You and your lover are very sensual and prioritize, sexy time, and is a really large part of the way you two find connection. I see that you could maybe pass down recipes even to your children if you have them. They have their room fully decked out and all of the things in a complete theme. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Right? You want to really give them the world, in that you are an affectionate parent. Don't stop kissing me in public. Now, moving from the home and into the silent workings of one's own mind, we have Pallas, who is commonly associated with the Greek goddess Athena. however, was the daughter of Triton in Greek mythology, who was messenger of the seas. Pallas represents the intuitive nature of the mind, as well as the wisdom of the heart. Truth-seeking through one's purpose is represented by asteroid Pallas, the courage to expand beyond one's fears and doubts and fully surrender to the unknown, allowing one to be exposed. Pallas is a reminder not to let our emotions overrun our sensibility, as well as the pursuit to merge with one's unconsciousness, and might even show where we seek emotional fulfillment. If your Pallas is in Pisces, discovering spiritual union is the underlying force behind all of your romantic connections, as you are naturally very gifted at knowing who you can truly rely on to be there for you in your times of need and comfort, and who is there only to get what they want and give back nothing else. Or that is a lesson. You may feel a deep wisdom when it comes to those deeper love bonds and connections, or you will be learning a great deal. Healing within relationship will be vital and essential to your well-being. If you are someone who is cycling out of more toxic behaviors when it comes to romantic partners, I see that your ability to overcome is incredible, only aiding you to expand your capability to understand yourself. You are someone who's really connected to the idea of unrequited love, or create these ideals of a person within your mind, right, that may not be who that person truly is. There are times where the wool has been pulled over your eyes and the ugly truth behind that person was eventually revealed. In your mind, the idea of romantic love equals that of Romeo and Juliet, okay? So you are being pushed to your ends, okay? To where the end of the physical world and non-physical meet. That's where you are. And in order to balance these polarities within your being of feeling as though you are unworthy of someone who is able to meet you where you're at, right? In seeking that unrequited love, or someone who is self-involved, incapable of meeting you eye to eye, who may not even be a good person, right? But in your mind, you have to have them, or you feel like you perhaps deserve less than what you do. And in seeking to find that balance of sacrificing everything, right, giving your all, there will be this process where you will have to really sit down and prioritize being able to discern the pros and cons of the relationships in which you enter. It will be really beneficial for you to sit down and journal out, write out your personal values, the values you seek in relationship, as well as getting on the same page as your partner to make sure that the relationship that you build is one that is able to really hold space for all aspects of your being, and there are many. There's so many sides to you. Some good, some not so good, some bad, some incredibly loving. You are very nurturing in your partnerships, in your relationships. You are naturally very maternal, paternal, right? And you will know what to do as you are attuned to your child's needs. In partnership, you genuinely want to be your best. I see couples therapy being really beneficial for you and your partner. Couples therapy is not just for people who are considering divorce or potentially breaking up, right? But is also for those who are just wanting to have a space where they can be open and honest with one another. So that can be an option you explore. Or any spiritual and healing practices that either of you enjoy that you can share together, share each other's notes on certain topics, right? Or even making your love a spiritual practice, right? Is something that you resonate with and may find beneficial in your potential fated, destined partner. And now we go even deeper beneath the surface with Lilith, who represents the darker aspects of our nature. You could also look to Lilith in determining your love forecast through the asteroids, right? They are another layer of understanding. If your Lilith is in Libra, for instance, you are someone who may struggle with potential attachment issues, or you may struggle to stay in a committed relationship, feeling as though it bogs you down or ties you down, although it is something you truly want on the inside. Libra is the sign of partnership and generally is really good at maintaining affable relationships. So when our Lilith is in Libra, we are sort of experiencing a certain void or lack in this particular area. Could be one way toward it. Or you may find that partnership in general brings you into your lower forms of being, which can be a process of deep unlearning and self-discovery as well. It's very possible that you feel the opposite, right? And desire a relationship to the point of fault or even codependency, where you are completely enwrapped in your partner's life, or could have crushes, right, that last for years without you pursuing them, or that exist in your mind of what could have been, right? And then we also have Sappho, which is the asteroid of friendship, but could also be looked at if you are someone who is interested in same-sex relationships. Sappho was a very talented poet, according to Greek history, and is where the term lesbian comes from. Sappho was from the island of Lesbos and was said to have written poems about affairs with women in very poetic ways, discovering friendships. If you are someone who is considered asexual but not aromantic, or are queer, lesbian, gay, on the spectrum of bisexuality, okay? If you're Sapphos and Sagittarius, it's very possible that you may find your friends traveling abroad or at some sort of cultural event. You meet your partner or romantic connection through a friend of a friend. They introduce you and you hit it off instantly. As your sphere of influence is very wide, you and your partner get along when you are spontaneous and live for the moment. That is how you experience satisfaction in connection, and will be less so concerned with the day-to-day. You could travel together and connect over shared ideas. They are someone who has to open your mind and be open to new ideas, to be open to possibilities, and can't be, a Debbie Downer. As you are someone who is really upbeat and you want to look to the brighter side of things and have a really optimistic view of what your relationships can become. You are someone who may have a 3-year, 5-year plan when it comes to your relationship, and you need someone who's gonna Get with the program. So now you know that you can utilize the asteroids within astrology to deepen your understanding of, say, your Venus sign or your moon sign. Asteroids, of course, do not have as great of a significance as a planetary placement, but again could offer a bit more guidance when seeking not just your average casual fling, but a spiritual union where you feel fulfilled in your connection and committed relationships, and in relation to potential children you may have with this person, enriching your experience of life and even deepening your spiritual journey. What a beautiful thing to seek. I personally am so proud of your willingness to venture so deeply within yourself. It's something to be applauded and may be less common than you think. So good job. Comment down below, which goddess of the asteroids did you resonate with the most? Which were you most excited about learning? Which of them shocked you if you looked up your asteroid, right? Which, by the way, you can just go online and search asteroid timetables. You'll then either have to scroll down to the year you were born or put in your exact birth time, date, and location. Check out my other astrology videos on my channel. Join the membership for more astrological interpretations of planetary transits as they happen. That's another way that you can support the channel. Or consider booking a personal reading on the website. I would love to speak to you and delineate your entire birth chart. I'm here not just as an astrologer, but a lifetime guide and resource. I look forward to continuing our journey together. Until next week, thank you for joining me on this one.